Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Matt and this is Dr. Tot, and thank you for joining my live stream. This is Pre-Algebra, the Pre-Algebra Academic Support Program. I'm here for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 5 o'clock to 5:45 to help you out through pre-algebra. Let me share my screen with you. So far this week we've been talking about saying, writing, and rounding whole numbers. And today I wanted to continue with that. Let me just share my screen here. Okay. So to pick up from last sessions, and by the way, if you just joined, if you're watching this recording and this session might be, if you start to get into a little bit of trouble or things don't make a lot of sense because I might be going a little fast, that's because this is predicated or based on sessions 1 and 2 that we've already gone through. So you might want to look back and watch those recordings before proceeding in this one. But if not, let's go ahead and just recap some things. So over the last 2 sessions, we've been talking about the number system that we use and the digits that make up the foundational base of the number system, and those are numbers 0 through 9. So the number system starts at 0, has unique numbering names 1 through 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we regroup back to a 1's value of 0 and a 10's value of 1. So then that goes from 10 to 11 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then we regroup again into 20. After from 20 to 99, remember there's that rule to hyphenate the values. You hyphenate the word names or the words that in the name for the number between the 10's digit and the 1's digit. So you need to memorize these values, these names from 0 to 19, and then you work off of the multiples of 10, which we went through are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Then we regroup into the into the hundreds place, into 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all the way up to 1,000, and 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So you see the number system repeats itself in rolling number blocks. So when naming values, specifically values between 20 and 99, you have to start with the multiple of 10. So for example, if we were looking at the number 43, start with the multiple of 10, which is representative as the 4 here. So that's 40. Write out the multiple of 10, 40, hyphenate it, and then write the 1's digit, which here is 3. So 43 would be written out that way. The other point to remember is that wherever you see a comma in the actual number that separates 3-digit number blocks from each other, there's going to be a comma in the name as well. And so that prompts us to review the decimal places. So here is a complete list of the decimal places. And oops, sorry, my camera's in the way, isn't it? Let me move this guy up here for a second. So you can see that we go all the way from the 100 millions down to the 1's and then to the 100,000s. So we're not going to concentrate on the green values in this video. I'm just making you aware of the decimal values, the variables to the right of the decimal point. But in this video, we're going to concentrate on whole numbers, on integer values. So we're going to range from the hundred of millions down to 1's. And so if we take this hypothetical number that I listed here just by using sequential digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, that would be, if we wrote out the name, the word name of this number, translated as the following. 123,456,789.01234. I'll teach you later in another video of how to read exactly that decimal point appropriately, but for right now, we're just going to read out the digits when we're answering with this problem, with this prompting. So you need to know these decimal places, and notice that everywhere that you see a comma, there's a comma in the word name. Okay, so there's two main rules. Hyphenate the put a dash between the tens digit and the ones digit, and then make sure that there's a comma in the word name everywhere that there's a comma in the number. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's get into some problems here. And let me move my camera back into the corner. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'd like you to write the name for the following numbers, A through F. And I'll keep track of the time on the board, and I'll update it every minute. Okay, so let's look at these questions. The first one, we have 41. So start with the multiple of 10, which is 40. Hyphenate it because we're listing out a tens and a ones digit, and then list out the ones digit, which is 1. So 40-1. For B, we have 556. So try to avoid saying the word end in numbers that don't have decimal places. Technically, end connotes or represents the decimal point when you read it out loud. So there's a temptation to say 556, but technically it should just be read 556. So start with the hundredths place, it's 500. Then go on to the multiple of 10, which is 50. Oops. Put a dash and then list the ones digit, which is 6. 556. C, 8,492, starting with the thousands. Oops, excuse me. We have 8,000, comma, notice that there's a comma after the 8, so there should be a comma after 8,000, 400, then go to the multiple of 10, which is 90, place a dash, write out the ones digit of 2. So 8,492. D is 65,489. So notice we have a tens and ones digit, but it's in the thousands. So it's 10,000, which is represented by the 6, and then we have thousands, which is represented by the 5. So we have 60-5,000, comma, 400, 89. So 80-9. E is 741,837. So start with the 741. Oops. So 40-1,000, comma, 837. 30-7. And I'll do the last one in another color just so it's not confusing. F is 2,147,941. So start with 2 million, comma, 100, 40-7,000, comma, 900, 40-1. Okay, so 2,147,941. If you have any questions on that, then please let me know. You can drop a comment in the live chat box or in the comment section below the video. If not, let's move on to the next problem set. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Please write the number associated with the word name in these 4 problems. Okay, so for number 1, we have 72,000, so 72, 301. So when they don't have a tens unit, then there's it's implied that there's a 0. So, 301 would be written that way. So 72,301 is 72301. Number 2, we have 84,154. So 84, 154. Number 3, we have 202,768. So we don't have a tens digit there, so we're going to have 202, 768. 202,768. And then lastly, we have number 4, 474,869. So we're going to have 474,000, so 474, 869. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, I'd like you to look at these 4 problems. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Please locate or name the decimal place where each of the specific numbers are located in each of those relative values in each question. So 2 minutes. Okay, so number 1, what decimal place is the number 7 located in the number 17,025? So 17,025, the 7 is located in the thousands decimal place. For number 2, what decimal place is the 4 located in 50,431? So the 4 is located in the hundreds place. For number 3, what decimal place is the number 6 located in the number 3,630,905? So the 6 is located in the hundred thousands. And number 4, what decimal place is the 7 located in the number 4,311,752? The 7 is located in the hundreds. If you have any questions, again, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I'd like you to round the values to the respective decimal places in each question. Remember the rules for rounding. You look directly to the right. If you're rounding, for example, to the hundredths digit, then you look to the digit to the right of that, which would be the tens digit. If that value is 5 or above, then you round up. If that value is 4 or below, then you round down. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, so number one, round 378 to the tens decimal place. So we're rounding to this decimal place. So we're going to look to the number directly to the right. That's an 8. So we're going to round up. We're going to round up to 380 if we're rounding to the nearest whole decimal, a tens decimal place. Number two, round 411 to the tens decimal place. So now we're rounding to the tens, but the number directly to the right is 1. It's 4 or below, so we're going to keep it at 410, round down to 410. Number three, round 27,729 to the hundredths decimal place, so we're rounding to the hundreds here. The number directly to the right is a 2, so we're going to round down to 27,700. And 4, round 83,684 to the hundredths decimal place, so we're rounding to this value here. The number to the right is an 8, 5 or above, so we're going to bump this up to 83,700. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at this problem set. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, so number one, round 23,269 to the thousands decimal place. We're rounding to this decimal place right here. Looking to the value to the right, it's a 2, so we're going to round down to 23,200. Number two, round 37,853 to the thousands decimal place. So we're rounding to this place, decimal place right here. Looking to the right, the next digit to the right is an 8, which is 5 or above. So we're going to bump this up to 38,000. Oh, excuse me, let me correct number one. I'm sorry. If we're rounding to the nearest thousands place, then this should just be 23,000. I apologize. So if you're rounding to a specific, if you're rounding to the hundreds, then the tens and the ones digit would have zeros in it. If you're rounding to the thousands, then the hundreds, tens, and ones digit would also have all zeros because it's the nearest thousand. So my apologies for that. 3, round 17,167 to the 10,000s decimal place. So we're rounding to this decimal place now. Looking to the right, that value is a 7, so we're going to bump this up to 20,000. If we're rounding to the nearest 10,000, then the thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones place would all be zeros. Round 38,882 to the 10,000s decimal place. So we're rounding to this decimal. Looking to the right, that's an 8, so we're going to bump this up to 40,000. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at these guys. Give you 2 minutes. Okay, number one, round 237,372 to the hundred thousands decimal place, so we're rounding to this decimal place. Looking to the value to the right, that's a 3, so we're going to round down to 200,000. Number two, we're rounding 385,198 to the hundred thousandths decimal place, so we're rounding to this decimal place. Looking to the right, the next decimal place has an 8 in it, so we're going to round up to 400,000. Number three, round 6,705,247 to the millions decimal place, so you're rounding to this guy. Looking to the right, that's a 7, so I'm going to bump up to 7 million. And number four, round 8,477,317 to the millions decimal place, so we're rounding to this guy. Looking directly to the right, that's a 4, so we're going to round down to 8 million. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's continue. So what I have here are some real-life problems that I'd like to go through. Let me just get these set up here. Okay. So to write a check, the recipient's full name must be written on the first horizontal line, and the full word name for the check amount must be written on the second line. So if you don't know, checks, I'm just going to draw it out here. So a typical check would have like the check number up here. You would write the date, which today is October 9th, 2020. So you'd usually have a date line. Then you'd have this little line that says pay to the order of. And that's the first horizontal line where you're going to write out the recipient's name. And then in the second line, they usually don't have a label, but that's where you write out the number of the amount. So there's a safety guard in checks that you write out the amount both in a number. So let's say I was going to write a check for $53. I would put 53.00, and then I'm going to, let's say I'm going to write it to myself, Mr. Matt. I would write out now $53. You have to write out dollars. And you can do this little, this is called, so you might have seen either one of these symbols. This is called an ampersand. And it stands for the word end. Okay, so in writing the check, you can put an ampersand and then write a fraction to represent the cents. So this is from 0 out of 100 cents because it's an even $53. Then there would be a line for me to sign, for the person to sign, and then there's a line down here to write a memo. And then let's say up here, it would list out who the bank account this is coming from. So this would already be written on the check. But we would have to put in the recipient's name and then write out the check amount. And let's say Dr. Todd was writing me a check, and this is his signature. It's his little paw print. But you would write out your name, write out the recipient's name, and then sign the check, of course, to endorse it, to validate it. The person who's cashing the check would sign the back of the check in order to endorse it when they deposit it in their bank. But if you're going to write a check, For 83, 246, and $679, I'd like you to write out the amount that would be written on the second horizontal line. So I'll give you 2 minutes, and then I'll give you the answers, and this will bring us up to the end of class. Okay, so on the first check, the second horizontal line would have $83 ampersand to represent end, and 0 out of 100 cents. That represents the cents there. There are multiple ways to write that. That's not the only way, of course. You could write out 0 cents, or you could just leave $83 as it is, but that's one way. The second check would have 200, 40-$6, ampersand 0 out of 100 cents. And then the third check would be for $670-$9, ampersand 0 out of 100 cents. If you have any questions on anything that we've done today, then please let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you very much for signing in, watching my stream, or watching this recording. If you have any questions, I'm available on all of my social medias. I'm here for you every day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 5 o'clock to 5:45 for the pre-algebra academic support program. Please like, favorite, and subscribe if you found this video useful. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to all of you on Monday.